And welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Vesperia. Last time we made it through the sands of Kogor and reached Yormgen. Possibly with the help of a dragon, but we don't quite know yet for sure. I actually wanted to make note of something I was realizing off screen that, oh, let's ask Gran first. I actually realized off screen that, coincidentally, for Super Mario Galaxy, for the episodes of this series and Galaxy that both involve ghosts and sort of haunted things, both went up around the same time, and the ones that had to do with deserts went up around the same time, so that was quite a coincidence. This music also reminds me of DKC 2. Bramble Blast? I don't know why, but something bad's giving me that vibe, and I'm totally down with that. So, a lot of the dialogue resets, so that's interesting. Everyone from away says it's a pretty village. It is a pretty village. You came from across the sea, you must be so tired. You've been on a ship for a long time, yes? What? No, Blastia, what's that? Apathia, is that something you eat? Well, I don't think we talked to her last time. We did definitely talk to this guy. Talk to these two, definitely. Okay, they don't say anything new.
That box.
Do you know something about this box?
Launchy had it. Where did you get it?
On a ship called the Atherum, my lovely lady. Have you heard of it?
Of course. You know about the Atherum too?
Yes. We happened to come across it on the ocean.
Did you see Launchy?
And Launchy would be...
Oh, Launchy is my love. I'm sorry to suddenly get so personal.
Your love. Damn it. Hey, Carol. Your turn.
You're hopeless. All that we saw was, the ship itself.
Oh, I see.
Could I ask your name?
Oh, my name is Yuafan.
That's the name that was in the diary we found on the Atherum.
Do you know about the clear Ciel crystal?
They say it has the power to drive back monsters.
The sage said it was necessary to make a barrier around the town. Is that what's in the box?
Yes, we came to deliver this box to you.
I see.
Hey, is that the key?
Could I have the box?
Wow, is this the clear Ciel crystal?
Looks like it.
So who's that sage you were talking about earlier?
The sage is a great Critian who came to our town from across the desert.
A Critian?
Well, creating a barrier is basically creating a Blastia.
Blastia?
But we can make Blastia with current technology, right?
There are people who do. You saw the Blastia at Emid Hill in Cair Bakram. But I don't think that sage guy is the one who made those Blastia with messed up formulas.
I'm sorry. I don't really understand. But the sage said that the clear Ciel crystal was needed to create the barrier. So Longchi set out to look for it. It's been 3 years since he left.
3 years, huh? You must be worried.
Wait, this sounds weird.
Yeah, the stories don't match up.
You'd think she could have miscounted by 1,000 years?
How old is she anyway? Is that sage in this town? Where does he live?
Oh, yes. He lives in the house farthest into the town.
I think it might be faster if we went to talk to the sage. Yes, maybe so.
If you're going there, could you take the clear Ciel crystal to the sage for me?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's go.
No skit. I'm actually a little bit surprised, to be honest. I was expecting a skit, that's why I was standing there, because it's like, there's gotta be a skit after that, talking about something so important, but apparently not. So off to the sage's house then. I do find that I find it interesting. There's clearly things back there, but we can't actually go any further. Also, did I check these yet? There's nothing in them, so either I checked last time or I completely spaced it out. There are a lot of cats in this village, and I'm not sure why.
Excuse me.
Huh? Hey, that's... You're...
You? How have you come to this place?
What do you mean, how? We walked. As in, across the desert.
I see. And yet, how did you... No matter. For what reason have you come?
We're a little curious about this.
This must have cost you dearly to obtain.
Actually, it just sort of landed in our lap.
That was quite a miracle.
You're planning on making a barrier blastia, aren't you? You're free to go pretending you're a sage, but forget about making any blastia. Who would even consider building a barrier blastia with something that's so obviously not a core?
But it is a solid mass of air. It simply lacks an inscribed formula.
Lacks an inscribed formula? What do you mean?
They are most commonly known as apatheia, of which the clear Ciel crystal is one example.
So this is an apatheia?
Also, I am not the sage.
Huh?
No such being exists any longer.
That's a problem. We'll need to get that back from you in that case.
Neither I nor humanity have a need for such a thing.
Whoa! What are you doing? Hold on a sec!
It's the same phenomenon we saw at Cave Mock!
Oh man! Just when I found one.
The apatheia bring only chaos to humanity. They are better off returned to air.
Return to air? Is that really all you did just now?
That's still no reason to go smashing other people's things.
Wasn't the clear Ciel crystal, the apatheia, needed to save this town from the monsters?
This town has no use for a barrier, and no need to be saved. This place has been granted everlasting calm.
Come to mention it, it is pretty quiet here.
But still, there are monsters like Pharaoh nearby.
How do you know of Pharaoh?
I'd ask you the same thing. You seem to know about him yourself.
Please, tell us what you know. Pharaoh referred to me as a poison.
I see.
You know something, don't you?
There is a being in this world who possesses a power the Entelekea despise.
You mean... me?
This being is known as the Child of the Full Moon.
Child of the full moon. Like in the legend. By Entelekea, you mean Pharaoh?
That is correct.
But what would the Entelekea have against me? Against a child of the full moon? What is this power the child of the full moon possesses that they despise?
That answer lies only within the hearts of the Entelekea themselves.
Which means I've got no choice but to find Pharaoh and ask him myself.
Do not be foolish. Meeting Pharaoh would end only in the death of the Child of the Full Moon.
But...
Estelle, give it a rest.
Hey, Reggae, Jaeger from Ruins Gate talked about the Entelekea earlier, didn't he?
Something about them being the ancient race that built Nordopolica.
So Pharaoh built Nordopolica? That doesn't seem possible.
Take your leave. There's nothing more for you here.
Wait, there's something I want to ask you too. What were you doing at that Air Krene? Just who are you? What is that sword of yours?
Those matters exceed your comprehension. Do not ask of them again. Go. I have nothing more to say.
Where do you get off?
Rita.
Duke may have been the one that saved us in the desert.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go and thank him.
Hold up. He doesn't seem the type to do something like that.
You don't think so?
Just a hunch. You said that child of the full moon he mentioned was the sister of brave Vesperia, right?
Yeah. Goddess who bathes this world in her golden light, you are named Child of the Full Moon. Your brother, brave Vesperia, watches over us from the skies. You remain bound to your mother, the Earth, and will shelter her with your unceasing protection.
Is there like a hidden meaning in there?
I'm not sure, but maybe it's more than just an old legend.
Remaining to protect the Earth, huh?
Could protecting the Earth have anything to do with ruling over this world?
You mean like becoming the Emperor? If Estella's the child of the full moon, that would add up.
Which means all the previous emperors would have been on Pharaoh's hit list.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Shouldn't we be thinking more about what to do next?
I'm gonna stay here. There are things I've got to investigate.
Investigate?
Clear Ciel crystals, apatheia, all kinds of things. Honestly, I have a few bones to pick with Mr. Warm and Fuzzy over there. If you're all going back, we'll have to say our goodbyes here.
But
Oh, that's too bad. I don't imagine the desert will be much fun on your own, but good luck.
Oh, that's right. I can't go anywhere without crossing that desert.
We can afford to take a load off while she's checking things out, can't we? I'm pretty interested in apatheia myself.
Yeah. Besides, we should make sure we're ready before heading back into the desert. Why don't we head back tomorrow? Rita, think you can tie up your loose ends in a day?
Shouldn't be a problem. Thanks. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay then, we'll meet up near the exit tomorrow morning.
Right. See you then.
And again, no skit. I'm a little bit surprised. I just expect skits everywhere, apparently. So, theory time. And yes, I'm just throwing out a random theory. Pharaoh could talk, so he was an Entelekea. What if Duke is actually that dragon? Not Pharaoh, but the one that was at the Aerocrane at the Wasteland of Kados. Like, what if he is that dragon thing there? Because it neutralized the air, which he can also do. Again, this is just total speculation on my part. No backing to this whatsoever, just me throwing out random ideas. But yeah, that's my current theory. And that basically the Entelekea, because they apparently are like dragony things. If I'm remembering Pharaoh right, it's actually been a while since we saw him. And since they can talk, it's like, do they have human forms? Just random, rampant speculation. But I guess we'll find out if I'm right or not. Hey old man, you can feel free to go on ahead to North Polka. Hey there, youngin', what, you want to get rid of me so soon? Wrong. I just wouldn't want you to miss the new moon, your chance to deliver the letter all on our account. Honestly, I could do fine without your concern. Wrong again. If brave Vesperia gets in the way of Altosk's work, we'll be apologizing to the dawn for an eternity. What? You're too young to bother yourself with such fluff. It's a matter of brave Vesperia being trustworthy, you see what I mean? We still got time left until new moon. We'll be fine. You sure? Anyway, I ain't about to go back through the desert in that cave myself. If I got killed by some monster on the way there, not only would the letter not get delivered, brave Vesperia certainly wouldn't look very trustworthy to potential clients then, would they? In that case, we'd collect your bones in the letter and deliver them as promised. Oh, how kind of... Wait, hey! Anyway, just so long as you won't go blaming me if you don't manage to deliver it on time. No problem. So you weren't able to meet Pharaoh after all. But I learned about some very important things. Child of the Full Moon and the Antilocheia. The only new thing we learned was what those words mean. As for the reason Pharaoh's trying to kill you, it seems we won't know unless we go ask him directly. But you heard what he was saying. If I go to meet Pharaoh, he'll just wipe me out. Looks like we'll never know the truth then. After all this, it's like I'm being told I should just give up. No, no way. Maybe... Huh? Maybe what I'm trying so hard to figure out isn't really that important to know at all. What do you mean? If I'd never met you, Yuri, and I just kept living my life in that castle, I would have lived without ever knowing about the Child of the Full Moon, or the Antilocheia, or any of that. So maybe I could just go on living without knowing why Pharaoh wants me dead. So you're saying you should just go back to the capital? I think that's definitely an option. If that's what you want to do, I won't stop you. Yuri, our contract with you is null and void at this point after all. That's true. It's just I don't really like hypothetical situations. They're not real life, and I'm not too good at pretending to forget things I already know. If you can do that, then I don't have any problem with it, but can you really? Then I can't do that either, but I have no idea what I should do in this sort of situation. You want to know the truth, but you don't know what to do. That'd be a good summary of your situation, right? Yes. Gotcha. Can I talk to Repeat separately? Nope, not particularly. Let's just check around. I assume everyone's around town as usual. They have a lot of these, compared to, I think, other Tales games even, where you just sort of break off and then check in with everybody. And I kind of like it. It's a nice little character builder instead of just, you know, kind of zoning out about, like, the fact that these are characters. Which is a problem with some games in the series, that they just sort of don't have many character interactions. It's more story driven. Even now I can see Long Chi smile. I wonder when he'll come home. Then there's that mystery of how 1,000 years can go by in 3. Sounds very sci-fi, and I am very much intrigued by that. You weren't able to find Pharaoh after all. Yeah, our first job as a guild was an egregious failure. What do you think? Should we go back to Dawngrest? That might be best, but would you be okay with that, Yuri? And what about Estelle? I'd be fine with it. As for Estelle, I'll leave that answer up to her. Alright. Sure is a serene little town. Huh? Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? No guilds, no empire. It's a little strange. Yeah, but I think it's relaxing. Yeah, but even so I prefer Dawngrest. That's how everyone is. Everybody prefers the place where they grew up. You too, Yuri? Well, yeah, sure. But if we're going to work together in Brave Vesperia, we'll have to decide on a single place or home base. We can always make someplace new, you know. Someplace new? Yeah, you know. Everyone thinks of Dawngrest as a Union city, but it's really Altosk's city. Could be like that. Brave Vesperia could make its own city. Brave Vesperia's own city. Yeah, I like that idea. Well, either way, we've got a lot of jobs as a guild ahead of us before we can be thinking about things like that. Yeah. Now that you mention it, Nordpollica is Palestrali's city, isn't it? Yeah, if you think of it that way, Nordpollica is more of a guild city than Dawngrest, even. Yeah, and Bellius rules the city too. Nordpollica. Leader of a city, duchy of a guild. I wonder what sort of person Bellius is. Yeah, I wonder, because they're talking about going to Dawngrest next, so I assume we're gonna have to stop at Nordpollica and deliver the letter before we can be worrying about going back to Dawngrest. What is this guy actually looking at? I'm curious. The truth is, the village's faith in me has been wavering because of the sage's help. I'm not sure whether to be grateful or perturbed. It's a strange feeling. Somehow I also don't think this peace is gonna last. Gut feeling. And Judith is probably near the exit, taking a walk. You're always out walking around, aren't you? Yes, I guess I'm a pretty restless person. That's unexpected. You seem to have some problems staying put yourself. I'm pretty restless myself. That's not so unexpected, I think. Maybe it's the Wanderlust coming back to me from when I used to fly around with Baru all the time. Yeah, back when you were wearing that weird white armor. Yes. Are you going to look for Pharaoh by yourself? Nah. Oh, then where were you planning on going? Only a walk. Oh, I see. Doesn't it seem like we've been meeting this way a lot recently? No, must be your imagination. Subtle. But yeah, that's definitely a theme. I think that's everybody, right? So we can just go to the inn now, I suppose? Ah, this is actually a really cheap inn. I guess after the desert makes sense. Please come again. We look forward to serving you next time. I don't know if that's what I was actually supposed to do to trigger the next thing. Estelle and Repeat are gone, so obviously yes.
Glad you could make it.
Sorry to keep you waiting. You'll be heading back too, right?
Yes. Thanks to your help, we've recovered our strength. We were thinking we'd cross the desert with you all. That is, if you don't mind.
Just make sure you don't go wandering off.
How about us? What's our plan after this?
I'm headed for the Air Crane and the Wizened of Kados. But I am curious about the Entelikeia, too.
I have the honored task of delivering this letter here to Belius.
I'd like to meet Belius once myself. I mean, seriously, the Duce. I want to see just what kind of person the leader of the only guild to rival Altosk really is.
It's Nordopolica for me too. I'm gonna see what Flynn has to say about those knights in Mantake. And that's assuming he's still in Nordopolica, of course.
I want to know why the Antilochaea hate the child of the full moon. Which means I have to meet Pharaoh.
But there's gotta be another way that doesn't involve Pharaoh.
Right. Besides, walking around in the desert just looking for him wouldn't be easy.
Why don't we all head for Nordopolica then? You're only looking to find out the reason you were attacked by the Antilochaea, correct?
Yes?
I imagine Belius could tell you if you met with her.
Why? Because of the connection between the Entelikeia and the Colosseum?
I do remember Jaeger mumbling something about the Entelikeia of Nordopolica.
If we can believe anything he told us.
Well, we'll pass through the Wizened of Kados on the way to see Belius. Good enough?
True enough. Alright then, Nordopolica it is.
Right. First, let's get back to Mantake.
Didn't Belius only meet with people on the night of the new moon?
Yeah, we'll have to get a move on if we're going to see her. I'll kick myself if we miss the new moon and have to wait another month.
Can a clear Ciel crystal really be used to make a barrier?
If they could, and we had enough, we'd be able to make as many barriers as we wanted.
Then even areas that suffer frequent monster attacks could be assured safety.
Yeah, but if it were possible, wouldn't something like that have happened by now?
Maybe it's best not to get our hopes up about it then.
Ever the realist, I see.
All I'm doing is speculating on the most probable outcome.
Actually, I think that's what being a realist means.
I mean, being a realist isn't a bad thing. So, do we have to actually go through the desert again? Oh, thank goodness. I really hope we don't have to do that again. But I'm thinking it's pretty likely we will. Nope, might as well start the trek back. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any search points. That's why I was doing the weird long pan. In case you were wondering. Yes, this is a relief. I am not going back in there quite yet until I can figure out if I'm missing treasures. Which I probably did, but I would prefer not actually. What the heck is this? This just looks really significant somehow. Is that a blue attack or a red attack?
Take them all out.
We'll get every last one!
Okay, so one thing I actually wanted to mention was I said Brigade was an anagram. I actually realized it's actually just Jaeger backwards. So it's even more than an anagram. It's actually the word reversed. So that's subtle. I'm actually surprised I didn't notice that. I mean, in the moment, I didn't really think of that at all. What is Tractor Beam, actually? It's neutral, apparently, so that actually isn't a bad move to spam on a group of enemies. Oh, she lost the paralysis anyway, so that saves the use of a life bottle, I suppose. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure why there's all the talk of Dawngrest, considering they don't seem to actually be going to Dawngrest now. So yeah, that's a little bit weird. Green spider. That is not a spider, it only has 6 legs. Just me being compulsive again. Okay, this probably won't be enough to get it down to the red, but hey, we got a failed link chain nonetheless. Let's see. But that's a lot of grade for normal fights that took almost a minute.
I feel so powerful.
I'm also afraid we might accidentally run into what's his name? Pharaoh. But luckily that does not seem to be the case. In any case, one more skit and then we'll end off.
Duke certainly has an air of mystery about him.
I thought he was pretty cold. Would it have killed him to listen to us a little?
Maybe he was caught off guard. We did just kind of show up out of nowhere.
Did one of us say anything rude to him?
Probably you, Rita. Ha! Ow! Hey! No hitting!
I wonder if he's always lived here in Yormgen.
Who knows? I didn't get the feeling he'd been here all that long, though.
Duke is pretty weird, but this whole town is pretty weird too.
Yeah, no kidding.
And we will return to Mantic next time. So thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Tales of Vesperia.